Well, there were two messages that were definitely sent on Friday night. One message, it was a little bit subtle. It can be open to interpretation. The other message, it cannot be disputed. It's not even open for debate. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was hoping America would vote with their remote control and send a clear message to Megan Rapinoe and this group of professional activists disguised as the U.S. women's soccer team. I have never been a big fan of global sporting events. I don't find the Olympics to be entertaining. I've never really gotten or so I don't find World Cups all that captivating, but with that being said, I do like to see America dominate on the global stage. I watched and supported last year when the men were advancing in the World Cup. Even though it's not my thing, I understand why millions of people are captivated by the World Cup and the Olympics. I find it extremely difficult to support this particular group of women along with the prepubescent boy. There is a reason I was hoping America would send a clear message Friday night. It would have cemented the fact that woke politics and anti-American bullshit will not be tolerated in sports. I don't want to see politics, period, in the world of sports. I would feel the same way if someone like Jonathan Isaac was representing America in the Olympics and he wore a MAGA shirt during the playing of the national anthem instead of his Team USA jersey. This platform was not designed for athletes to spread their personal ideology. Events like the Olympics and the World Cup, they are designed to bring people together. Politics, by design, does the complete opposite. Politics are meant to be divisive. I read through a lot of your comments Friday on the video I posted. A lot of you guys felt the same way I did. You were hoping Americans would vote with their remote control, showing they did not support this group of activists on the U.S. women's soccer team. Unfortunately, that was not the case. This group of lovely ladies, along with the prepubescent boy, they faced off against Vietnam in the opening round of the World Cup on Friday night. Our beauties, they were heavy favorites going into the match. I think the money line odds were minus 10,000, meaning if you wanted to place a bet on America to win, you had to put up $10,000 just to win $100. The game was broadcast on Fox. It was simulcast on Telemundo. According to the Associated Press, the combined audience, 6.3 million viewers. That is very impressive. That's a huge number. Outside of one or two games, the NBA can't eclipse 6 million viewers until they reach the conference finals and the playoffs. Same with Major League Baseball. The NHL, forget about it. You'd have to combine the first 3 games of the Stanley Cup Finals to reach 6 million people. Well, KC, what about the WNBA? The dump? The dump? The only metric where the dump hits 6 million is pounds of trash processed monthly. Now, you can look at these ratings for the World Cup one of two ways. You can look at this positively. Over 6 million Americans were willing to put their political differences aside. They were willing to overlook the anti-American representation on the field and support their country. Or you could look at this and come to the conclusion that we've got over 6 million shitfucks living in this country. To be fair, it's probably a combination of both. Some people were willing to overlook the activism and support the country. Others watched and recorded the game to ensure they had plenty of material for spanking the wanker. As is often the case when it comes to women's sports, the media headlines coming out of the World Cup Friday night were not focused on the actual game on the field. Now, for those that were wondering, the American Beauties defeated Vietnam 3-0. In sports, we call that a shutout. At Woke United Methodist, they call that inequality. That's so unfair. They should have let their opponent score at least one goal. I'm sure Megan Rapinoe was broken up about the inequality on the field Friday night. My inside sources tell me she donated a freshly conceived egg to each Vietnamese player, courtesy of her rocking the nest with the Sioux bird before utilizing her wings to fly to New Zealand. Prior to the game, World Cup officials, they play the national anthem of each country. Now, as you guys know, the playing of the national anthem, it is very triggering for the beauties representing America. That song represents oppression. I refuse to honor a song that is rooted in mythical racism. Over half of the activists representing America, along with the purple-haired representation of prepubescent boys, they stuck to their word when it came to the national anthem. First, though, let me show you how the women from Vietnam represented their country. This year was the first time Vietnam was invited to play in the World Cup. Now, I'm not entirely sure as to the reason why. I don't know if the government officials in Vietnam refused to allow their women to participate, or if they've just sucked so bad they've never qualified. My guess would be the latter. But anyway, as you're about to see in this clip, the women from Vietnam, they're not only happy to participate in their first World Cup, they're also honored and proud to be representing their country. Now, you got to remember, these women have nowhere near the rights and luxury that the group of activists representing mythical American oppression have. According to the International Labor Organization, gender-based discrimination is prevalent throughout the economy in Vietnam. Women have less resources, they have less access to education. Some women in Vietnam, they're expected to work for free. Now, keep that in mind as you see how proud these women are to represent their country. I'm going to mute the sound on this clip because Fox has been horrible lately with copyright, probably because I keep calling out their bullshit. I used to have a good working relationship with Fox. They always approved usage under fair use, but that's just no longer the case for this channel. Sound doesn't matter anyway because you can't understand the words, but watch for yourself. Every single player had their hand over their hearts singing their national anthem with pride. Every single one of them. Now, before I show you the un-Americans, I want you to think about something for a second. Those lovely women we just saw from Vietnam, how much money do you think they're making? Well, KC, they qualified for the World Cup. The prize money has increased exponentially thanks to Megan Rapinoe winning the battle for equal pay. These beautiful women from Vietnam must be making millions. Well, that's partially true. They are making around 3 million dongs, and no, I'm not talking about the dong that Megan Rapinoe pretends that she has in her tuck-friendly bathing suit. The dong is the currency in Vietnam. Those proud Vietnamese women, they're making around 3 million dongs per month. When you exchange that into American dollars, it comes out to $131 a month, about 33 bucks a week. I spent more than that this morning at the gas station. Now, contrast their salaries with what the activists who pretend to live through American oppression are making. Forbes, they compiled a list of the highest paid players at the World Cup. Imagine my surprise when I see that 9 of the 10 highest paid players at the World Cup are representing America. Alex Morgan ranks number 1, $7.1 million a year. The puberty blocker Megan Rapinoe ranks number 2, around $7 million a year. I don't even know how many players are on the U.S. women's team. What I do know, they're all making substantially more money than their opponents. I guess the battle for equal pay only benefited the American women. I haven't heard women from Vietnam complain about equal pay. Seems to me they're just happy to be there. Again, contrast what I just showed you from the women from Vietnam who are making dongs on the dollar and compare their reaction to the national anthem to the entitled millionaires representing America. Again, I'm going to mute the sound for copyright reasons, but just look at the happy faces on these American beauties. Roll the film. Where was Megan Rapinoe? Did I miss something? Did she change her hair color to blend in with the others? Well, KC, she's not playing. Father Time, who now chooses to identify as mother, has caught up with her. Megan is there for support. Okay, I see. Still, though, I thought it was interesting that Fox decided not to show the biggest star in the World Cup during the playing of the national anthem. Strange. Now, to be fair, Do I think what happened during the national anthem, do I think it was a big deal? No, I don't. All the ladies were standing, some sang along, some had hands over their hearts, some chose to look bitter and had their hands behind their back. Whatever. I didn't think it was a big deal, but I understand why some people are pointing it out. Look, these women have a well-deserved reputation of being anti-American. Hell, the face of this team is making millions of dollars every year by denigrating this country. Megan Rapinoe makes $6.3 million every year through endorsement deals. How do you think she got those? It wasn't because of soccer. Maggie didn't become famous until she began working her knees during the national anthem. It is not a societal requirement for athletes to sing during the national anthem. Players in the NFL, the NBA, they don't sing it. Some of them do, most don't, and no one cares. But with this group of activists, it's all about the optics. The reason people noticed is because these women have made millions by shitting on America. I really do feel bad for some of the ladies on this team. Not all of them are like Megan Rapinoe. Unfortunately, they get put into a situation where they're guilty by association. To be honest with you, I don't even know why Megan Rapinoe is even on this team. These ladies would have been better off without her. If she's too old to play, if she can't contribute on the field, what the hell's her purpose? Why is she there? Last I checked, Australia, New Zealand, they had plenty of hair dye. The other women, they don't need Megan Rapinoe to color their hair. I think it would be easier for many people to support this team if Megan Rapinoe wasn't associated with it. But look, numbers don't lie. These women drew monster ratings for Fox in their first game. Unless something drastic happens, that should be the case going forward. But for me personally, Megan Rapinoe, she cannot retire quick enough. But give me your thoughts. The American women pull over 6 million viewers in their first game of the World Cup. What do you think about the reaction to the national anthem? Is it justified, or do you think people are overreacting here? You let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.